Matthew Ianniello, also known as Matty the Horse, was a notorious figure in the world of organized crime. As the acting boss of the Genovese crime family, one of the most powerful mafia organizations in the United States, Ianniello was feared not just because of his position but because of his ruthlessness, cunning, and involvement in various illicit activities. While most mobsters of his time were involved in typical mafia enterprises like extortion, loan sharking, and gambling, Ianniello's reach extended far beyond that, making him a figure of particular dread even among seasoned criminals. 1. Control over Manhattan's nightlife. Ianniello was a major player in Manhattan's nightlife. He controlled numerous bars, restaurants, and nightclubs, including many in the Times Square area. This control wasn't just about making money, it was about power. By having his hand in so many establishments, he could influence who came and went, gather intelligence, and wield significant influence over New York's social scene. Those who crossed him found themselves cut off from the city's nightlife or, worse, found their businesses mysteriously torched or their lives threatened. 2. Brutality and fear tactics. Unlike many drug dealers who relied primarily on business acumen or alliances to maintain their position, Ianniello was known for his brutality. He would not hesitate to use violence to get what he wanted, and he made sure everyone knew it. Stories circulated of Ianniello ordering hits on those who betrayed him or even those who simply inconvenienced him. These stories weren't just rumors, they were often backed by grisly evidence, making him a figure of terror. 3. Involvement in the garbage hauling industry. One of Ianniello's most feared ventures was his involvement in the garbage hauling industry. This wasn't just about controlling a lucrative business, it was about maintaining a grip on a vital service for New York City. Ianniello and the Genovese family turned garbage collection into a racket, using it as a front for extortion and other criminal activities. Any competitor who tried to encroach on their territory quickly found themselves out of business, sometimes permanently. The industry was so tightly controlled that crossing Ianniello meant not only financial ruin but also the very real threat of death. 4. Influence in labor unions. Ianniello's control over labor unions added to his fearsome reputation. By manipulating unions, especially in the construction and food service industries, he could command the loyalty of thousands of workers. This control allowed him to extort businesses, enforce strikes, and even dictate the terms of major construction projects in New York City. Employers knew that defying Ianniello meant dealing with costly strikes or worse, physical harm to themselves or their families. 5. Avoidance of direct drug involvement. While many mobsters were deeply involved in drug trafficking, Ianniello was known for keeping his hands relatively clean when it came to narcotics. This wasn't because he had moral objections. Rather, it was a calculated move. By avoiding direct involvement in drug dealing, he minimized his exposure to law enforcement, who were cracking down hard on drug-related activities. This cunning allowed him to maintain his power longer than many of his contemporaries, who were taken down in drug busts. However, this did not mean he wasn't feared by those in the drug trade. His indirect influence was enough to keep everyone in line. 6. Corruption and political influence. Ianniello also wielded significant political influence, making him even more dangerous. Through a combination of bribery, blackmail, and manipulation, he had politicians, judges, and law enforcement officials in his pocket. This network of corruption ensured that he could operate with relative impunity, as any legal trouble that came his way was often quickly dismissed or reduced. Those who dared to stand up to him often found their careers, and sometimes their lives, destroyed. 7. Master of cover UPS and secrecy. One of the reasons Ianniello was particularly feared was his ability to cover his tracks. He was a master at avoiding detection, whether it was by law enforcement or rival criminals. He understood the value of silence and secrecy, and he imposed it ruthlessly on those around him. Informants who considered betraying him often ended up dead, their bodies serving as a grim warning to others. This ability to keep his operations hidden made him unpredictable and terrifying to anyone who crossed paths with him. 8. Event: the murder of Vincent Papa. One event that highlighted Ianniello's fearsome reputation was the murder of Vincent Papa, a notorious drug dealer involved in the French Connection heroin ring. Papa was believed to have orchestrated the theft of millions of dollars worth of heroin from the NYPD's evidence room. While Papa was a major player in the drug world, Ianniello viewed him as a threat to the stability of his operations. In 1977, Papa was murdered in prison under mysterious circumstances, a crime many believed Ianniello orchestrated. The murder sent shockwaves through the underworld, reinforcing Ianniello's image as someone not to be trifled with. 9. The downfall. Despite his cunning, Ianniello's reign eventually came to an end. In 1985, he was convicted on racketeering charges, primarily related to his control over the garbage hauling industry. Even as he faced prison time, his influence remained, with many in the underworld still wary of crossing him. His ability to maintain such a stranglehold on various industries, coupled with his reputation for brutality, ensured that his legacy would be one of fear and respect. Matthew Ianniello was not just another mob boss. His ability to combine traditional mafia activities with a wider range of criminal enterprises made him uniquely dangerous. He was feared because he was unpredictable, ruthless, and, perhaps most terrifyingly, incredibly effective at what he did. Thanks for tuning into Sika True Crime Docs. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next episode.